So I'm home in Brooklyn, New York. I'm an addict. My name is Raymond. Thank you for all the trusted servants. I got a little bit of a cold over here, so I don't sound like myself. Um, okay, so I am a drug addict. Okay, my life was ravaged by drugs. I was a slave to my addiction. I couldn't stop using drugs. The more I wanted to stop, the more drugs I used, the worse it got. I thought I was never gonna do this. I'm never gonna do that. I'm not gonna hang out with those people. I'm never gonna be like them. I ended up worse than I ever imagined. I could not stop using drugs. Drugs took me further than I wanted to go. They kept me longer than I wanted to stay, and they cost me much more than I wanted to pay. All right. So drugs ravaged my life. I'm a drug addict, whatever drugs, white, brown, dry, wet, and, any drugs. I don't care what drugs, whatever you got, So I'm a drug addict. All righty. Okay. So I used and I abused drugs, and then drugs use and abuse me. Right. I love my mother. I wanted to be a good son, but the drugs was more powerful than a son's love for his mother. I wanted to be, whatever. I couldn't go to school. I went to jail. It got ugly. It got dark. It got messy. I could not stop. I was a drug addict. I lived to use. I used to live. It's important to identify, not to compare. I felt shame. I felt embarrassed. I broke my own rules. I broke my mother's heart. It was bad. It was bad. And so I tried whatever was available to me, right? We read in one of the readings, religion and psychiatry. I tried religion. There was this church where the drug addicts were getting clean and blah, blah, blah. And they were praying for them. And and I went there and they prayed for me, and it didn't work for me. So I tried religion. It didn't work for me. I used drugs. I went to the psychiatrist. I got mental illness. I got different diagnoses. They gave me medication, psychotropic medication. They said I had a chemical imbalance. The medication was going to help me balance off. The obsessive use drugs would be gone. I took the medicine and I used more drugs, right? Religion and psychiatry were not sufficient for us. There's people that worked for over there, and that worked for over there, and that worked for me. Nothing worked. I was a hopeless, dirty, filthy, embarrassed drug addict. And I thought I was going to die a dirty, filthy, shameful, embarrassed drug addict. I'm running the streets of Brooklyn with, doing what drug addicts do. I got a gun. I got holes all over my body. I've been arrested many times. I'm going crazy on the drugs. I lost control. I can't stop. I can't go to sleep. I can't eat. I can't, I'm going to go to the parole. I'm going to go to see my probation officer. I don't make it to the probation officer. I'm just going to do one. I never make it. I'm going to get some milk. I come back 7 days later. I'm a drug addict. I can't stop using drugs. So I want to say that before I get into anything else, because when I came to Narcotics Anonymous, now people know me. I'm an addict. My name is Raymond R. When I'm in NA, I'm an addict, regular drug addict like anybody else. If you're new, I'm just like you. If you're old, I'm just like you. You might have a crazy beard like me, but we have a lot in common, And so when I came to Narcotics Anonymous, all I wanted to do, I didn't want a car. I didn't want a license. I didn't want, 5 pairs of sneakers. All I wanted was to stop using drugs. You understand? My life was being ravaged by drug addiction. I just wanted to stop using. I wanted to stop going to jail. I wanted my mother to stop crying. I wanted to take a shower and be clean. I wanted to get fly. I just wanted to stop using drugs. I had no big plan, no big idea. I didn't want to travel to England and Sweden and Africa and Alaska and Israel. That was not, I just wanted not to use drugs. That's all I wanted. And so I got these 2 dogs here that might get, I get excited, they get excited. So I'm going to try to chill out. I got one dog. We rescued one dog from Puerto Rico. The dog was homeless. The dog got a story, right? Homeless in Puerto Rico. I got another dog from Georgia. They were going to kill that dog, but we brought that dog in. So, yeah, NA turned me into a dog lover. That's not my time, right? No, I'm not. All right. Okay. So NA turned me into a drug lover, a dog lover. I was already a drug lover. I became a dog lover. So anyway, I came to Narcotics Anonymous. I was a young boy. I was 17 years old when I finally stopped using drugs. I don't know nobody in New York, that's stopped using drugs when they're 17 years old. I don't know nobody, is using the drugs I was using, running around like I was doing. All my friends, every one of them, everyone that I used drugs with, everyone are dead or in jail. Every one of them. You understand? And so I ended up hearing an incredible hope shot from an H&I member. Somebody was doing H&I, and some NA member took their valuable time from their life and went to the institution I was in, and they went to carry the message, and my disease fights for its life. I didn't want to hear no message. The guy looked different than me. He don't come from where I come from. He had blonde hair, blue eyes. My disease was judging him, and all types of stuff was going on. And this guy shared that I'm from Brooklyn, so we have a contest who can look the angriest, like, and so I was looking the angriest, right? I was looking at this guy like I'm gonna kill him. H&I member, nice guy, and he shared, and a miracle happened. I can cry about it, a miracle happened that day. I was waiting to die. I accepted I was gonna, like, I don't know if anybody ever done step work here, the step working guide. It talks about resignation and surrender versus surrender. I had resigned. I knew that I was a dirty, filthy drug addict. I knew that I was a dirty mother hubber. I knew that, and I accepted I was going to die on this. Somebody's going to murder me in jail, or the Rastafarians were looking for me. The Dominicans were looking for me. I was robbing everybody. I was going crazy. I was a slave to the addiction. If it said get up, and I got up. It said march, I marched. It climbed the mountain, I climbed the mountain. It said walk 12 miles, I walked. It said shoot that guy. I did whatever this is. I was powerless. No power, no control. I was lost in the sauce. All right. So this guy comes in, H&I, and he shares his message. And hope exploded in my heart that day without my permission. I was a hopeless, I was lost, man. I was lost. And H&I, that's why, I'm going to London next Sunday. I'm going to the HMP. I don't want to say over there. I go to prisons whenever I go anywhere. I don't go to London Eye. I'm not going to the Queen's Castle. I'm going to H&I. I'm doing prison. I'm going to wear my best sneakers, right? I only dress up for jail. I'm going to wear my best sneakers. I got a nice gold chain. I'm going to put on my gold, I'm going to put on my gold chain. I'm going to go into show those prisoners. I want to hope, like, look, man, you can come to NA and you can get a gold chain. You get some nice trainers. I know you guys like the white Reeboks over there. You know what I mean? You can, there's hope. So the same way H&I came in and shined light in my darkness, I want to go shine light in other people's darkness. So the guy came in. They said, make a meeting. They gave me suggestions, right? Make meetings. When you get out of here, make meetings. Before I went to the meeting December 24th, 1990. December 24th, 1990, I came home and I had to make a third step decision, an 11th step decision. It was a crucial decision, right? Do I go home? I got out the car. Do I go upstairs to my family's house? I'm Puerto Rican. And they got coquito, they got a lot of alcohol, they got a lot of drugs. And if I go, do I go inside my home? And I used to have pretty hair. Do I go change, take a shower, eat, or do I go to the meeting like they told me to? They said run to a meeting, right? So I made what I didn't know then, what I know now, is a life-changing decision. Instead of going upstairs to my house, I went straight to the meeting. And when I went to that meeting, they clapped. I was young. They said, wow, this young kid. I was crazy. I was bugged out. They embraced me. They loved me. I didn't like the hugs, what these people want. I liked it and I didn't like it. You know what I mean? It's like, the bipolar, the Jekyll and Hyde and the whole. And so I'm very, very grateful for the love I got, the welcome I got. It says in the first tradition in the basic text that us addicts have never felt as wonderful as we were made to feel in Narcotics Anonymous. No place else have I ever felt so welcome, so accepted, so loved. So the fellowship embraced me. I was mentally ill. I had a lot of issues. I was bugged out. I was racist. I was, homophobic. I was a violently anti-religious. I was, I had my issues, got issues. But I made meetings, and I want to make it clear, I was not a role model for recovery. I was not a good recovering addict. I didn't take a lot of suggestions, but I made meetings. I made meetings. I made meetings. I made meetings. Meeting makers make it. I made meetings. I used every day. I made meetings every day. I live in Brooklyn, so we got meetings at 9 o'clock in the morning, 7 o'clock in the morning, 11 o'clock in the morning, 12 o'clock in the afternoon, 3 o'clock in the afternoon. There's meetings all day long. And I made meetings. I became a meeting maker. And that's my claim to fame, right? That I got clean feet. I got smart feet, whatever you want to call them. My feet learned. Instead of going to the drug spot, I went to meetings. Instead of going to the drug spot, I went to meetings. Instead of going to the drug spot, I went to meetings. And I got clean. I got clean. My last relapse, I got, was 4 days before my 18th birthday. February 28th, 1991 is my clean date. I tell you, I came home December 24th, 1990. My clean date is February 28th, 1991. And I've been clean all my 20s, all my 30s, all my 40s. I'm 50s now, 50 something. And I've been clean a long time. And I thought, and I wish, right? If I wish that all I had was a drug problem. Right? That's what I wish. I wish that if I just had a drug problem and the drugs are gone and now I'm wonderful, right? No, the drugs are gone and I am sick. I got issues. I got trauma. I got things I don't even know. Triggered. I get triggered. What is trigger? Is a gun? I got stuff I don't know about. And that's why it's important to get a sponsor, somebody who's been here before me, who understands the journey, who can guide me. I've never been. When I go to England, I get a where to find. That's a meeting list for those who don't know. I get a where to find, and then I get the Google Maps shows me how to get to where I need guidance. I don't know how to get. How do I get to Bournemouth from London, and how do I get to Western-super-Mare from? I need guidance, and so I've never been to recovery. I need guidance. I need somebody who's been in this journey to guide me. And they told me, listen, all the suggestions in Narcotics Anonymous are free. All the suggestions are free. The only ones you have to pay for are the ones that you don't take. And I didn't, all right. And I paid a high price. I'll tell you, I got clean. I relapsed because I didn't listen. Stay away from people, places, and things. You can't take half a suggestion, Raymond. You got to take the whole suggestion. You know what I mean? And so I got clean February 20th, 1971, and I made meetings, and little by little, and everybody's journey is different, right? It took me 3 years to understand that this is not about drugs, all right? 3 years. I thought my problem was just drugs. No, 3 years later, I found out, no, you got the disease of addiction, and you got to figure out what that means. Read the basic text. We didn't have a lot of books back then. Now you could, you read, understand what addiction is. It's physical, it's mental, it's spiritual. It could be candy, it could be Haagen-Dazs, it could be sex, it could be money, it could be work. It could be that this thing could shape shift and change into things I never imagined. But the most important thing, don't pick up the first drug. If you use, you lose. All right. And so I kept coming, got a sponsor, did service, got some clean time. Around 4 years clean, I finally entered the recovery process, right? It took me 4 years of making meetings, doing service, making meetings. I didn't do no step, I did no significant step work. It took me 4 years to say, listen, if you do not work the program, if you just stay clean, you're going to kill yourself or you're going to use again. That was my story. All right. I need to recover. Abstinence was not enough for me. I need to work the steps, how it works. If you want what we have to offer and are willing to make the effort, if you want, circle want, if you want what NA has to offer and are you willing to make the effort? And I got to take these steps, right? So It took me 4 years to surrender to the program. There was, I'm in New York. They got all these great speakers. So there's no gram like the program. There's no gram, like, yeah, I don't want the program. I see 12 steps. I see 12 reasons to get the hell out of here. I don't want to do step work. I want to stay clean. I want girls. I want money. That's what I want. And so I did that until I couldn't do that no more. I was sick and suffering and suffering and sick. Why are you biting me, Jake? Jake, don't bite me. Oh. So anyway, Jake bit me for no reason. The dog might have a disease like me. So anyway, all right. So I worked steps. I got better. I started changing. The steps is about principles. It's about change. It's a long journey. I stopped smoking cigarettes. I stopped cursing. I stopped doing this. I stopped. Recovery is a lot about letting go of stuff. Right? There's stuff that I participate in. There's ideas I have. There's defects that I act out on, and they feed my disease. They don't feed my recovery. If I feed my disease is going to get strong and it's going to kill me. I got to starve my disease. And I found out that after you get clean, there's different ways that you feed your disease. You understand? You got to be able to stop feeding disease. Well, whatever that is. Everybody, different symptoms, different things. Okay, check it out. Now, very important. If you're new, we suggest that you get a sponsor, get a home group, make some tea. In New York, we say the coffee guy don't get high. The coffee guy don't get high, right? Get a commitment, make some coffee, do your thing, okay? Get a commitment, get involved in service. It'll put you in the center so you don't fall off the edges. Get a home group, get a sponsor, get a commitment. Very important. Those are the basics. The drugs that I use, my drug of choice, I'm not going to tell you what it was, but you needed this drug, you needed a pipe, and you needed a lighter. Without those three things, I'm not going to use. The same thing for recovery. I need a home group, a sponsor, and a commitment. I kept it very simple. A home group, a sponsor, commitment. Little by little, my life changed. Now I got, 33 and a half years clean. Now I'm married. Now I'm, I got a title behind my name outside of NA. I travel the world. I train people professionally. I work, I got a wonderful life. Now, because how did this happen? Because I made 90 meetings in 90 days. That's how it happened. I got clean. I got a sponsor. I heard things at meetings. Little by little. So I'm gonna be done now. So little by little, I made meetings. I heard different things. I hung out with people. We used to have the speaker tapes. Now you got speaker CDs. Now the CDs are gone. Now you got digital, whatever. I like listening to other speakers. I go to YouTube. I listen to different speakers. Okay, let's relax now. So I need new information and healthier information so I can make new decisions and make healthier decisions, right? I need my best thinking is no good. My best thinking gets me into the world of trouble. I am drug-free. I'm not drug-proof. There's a difference. No one's exempt from relapse. If I stop working the program, if I stop making meetings, if I stop doing what works, it will stop working. And so I decided a long time ago that I'm not going to stop doing what works. NA changed my life. I got a wife because I'm in NA. I got grandkids. I got my license. I got a car. I got a passport. I got this. I got that. My family loves me. I was able to bury my mother clean. I was able to be a good brother to my sisters. Just everything that I always looked for out there that I didn't get, I found it in here. You understand? Not just making meetings, not just staying clean, but working the program. Doing, I felt like a nerd. I don't know, getting a pen and a notebook and writing these questions down and looking at a dictionary and finding out what acceptance means and what does powerless mean and what does it admit mean and what, just looking up what is this thing about what does hope mean and what does faith mean and just looking up and what's this triangle of self-obsession, anger, fear, resentment, and all this crazy stuff. So now, before I shut it down, I want you to know that, listen, this program has a lot to offer. It's not just abstinence from drugs. There's a lot to offer. There's freedom from resentments, freedom from self-loathing, freedom from old abuse and original pain, freedom from religiosity, freedom from prejudice, freedom from race. There's the 11th step. There's a line in the 11th step that I like. And it says that our spiritual condition, which means something, right? Our spiritual condition is the basis of a successful recovery that offers unlimited growth. So, my spiritual condition, I learned to value what's my spiritual condition. Do I have peace? Do I have joy? Do I have compassion for others? Do I have an increased concern for other people? Do just different things change? I went from being, thank you so much, very good. I went from being a taker and taking to being a giver. And now, why I asked God, why am I? Because I feel like maybe there's another guy out there, but I feel like I'm the only one from my crew that's clean. I feel like I'm the only one. The guys that I ran with, and I said, why am I clean? Why did this guy die? This guy, I've been in recovery 33 and a half years. And relax. And I got a guy who I was running around the streets with, and he's been in prison 33 and a half years. You understand? Like, well, I'm in NA 33 and a half years, clean, and he's in prison all these years. Well, that easily could be me. So as I see the coincidences and I see the miracles happening in my life, I learn to trust that, all righty, very nice. Don't bite me. All right. So I learned, that's what happens. You save the dog and then they bite you. All right. So check it out. Jake, be easy, please. Okay. So God got me clean. I believe in God now. I have a high, this is not a religious program, is a spiritual, not religious program. You can believe in any higher power you want or not. It doesn't matter. Just know that the program works. Make meetings, get a sponsor, do service. The program works. Okay. I've said God got me clean so I can serve. That's why I'm clean. That's why I'm not in prison. That's why I'm not dead. Because I have an ability to communicate that speaks to some people, not everybody, but some people. My story connects with some people, not everybody. I have a way of being that connects with some people. Now, so there's people that I'm supposed to meet and talk to and have tea with and have coffee with and sponsor and go to the convention with and all this stuff. I'm sorry, I don't mean to be shouting at you. All right, so as my time is up, I want to tell you a story. I haven't told a story in a long time. There's this guy, he's a newcomer, right? And he's like a newcomer. And there's this guru in the village, okay? So there's this guy and there's this guru in the village. And like once a year, the guru would show everybody that he knows everything there is to know about everything there's to know about. And every year he would let anyone ask any questions to prove that he knows everything there is to know about everything there's to know about. And this one guy, like a newcomer type of guy, he wanted to prove the guru is wrong. So he comes up with an idea. He says, I'm going to get a little bird and I'm going to put it in my hand, one of those little birds, and I'll put it behind my back. And I'm going to ask the guru, what do I have behind my back? And if the guru says you have a little bird behind your back, I'm saying that's very good. But the real question is the bird dead or is the bird alive? And if the guru says the bird is alive, I'm going to snap the bird's neck and kill it and show a dead bird and prove him wrong. And if he says the bird is dead, I'm going to let the bird fly away, proving it. So he comes up with this plan. I'm going to prove the guru wrong. So the day comes and he says, okay, guru, if you know everything there is to know about, everything there's to know about, what do I have behind my back? And the guru says, well, young man, you have a little bird behind your back. It's okay, guru. Is the bird dead or is the bird alive? And the guru pauses for a moment. And he says, well, young man, it's all in your hands. It's all in your hands. It's up to you. And what I learned is that recovery is up to me. It's all in your hands. Do you want to make meetings? Are you tired of being, messed up? Do you want freedom? Do you want to experience joy? Do you want happy, loving relationships? It's up to you. Here it is. Narcotics Anonymous works and we do recover. My time is up. Thank you very much. I'm an addict. My name is Raymond.